Alright, I'm back and more excited than ever. It's Roose the Rotor with Braxa Games episode number 3. And I'm ready to party. There's a big party next door, I can hear it. I mean, it's late, it's still going. I saw cars coming in all day. My friend L-Dog contacted me the other day. Actually, it was last night. He's like, hey, what are you doing for your birthday? Because it's in 2 days. I'm like shooting this video. I'm spending it with you guys in these games here. I'll catch up with him soon though. So I have 22 more games to add here. And there's also a halftime in the middle where I'm going to show some cool stuff. Some is non-game related. But anyways, let's get to it. Let's head over there and go look at some games. Alright, I got 11 more games. We have a halftime in the middle. Let's get started. So the first item, just because of its size, I think should come first, which is this. The Aaronix TV video game. Built-in 35 games. It's a PAL unit, so I don't really expect to be using it anytime soon. There's the back. There's the Sonic. And other stickers. And here's the front of the unit. It's cool. It's a Famiclone. I mean, the power's like an actual switch. That's cool. Reset. A little squeaky, but that's still cool. An eject button. It feels really nice. Got this that opens. And the controllers, from what I remember, yeah, they feel pretty good. You got the cables go in there, kind of wind up. But each control has its own little port there. I love this. I love having it. And I'm going to keep that for a very long time. How about this? The game adapter. And this thing is so shiny, all you can see is me in it. In this camera. Is that funny? So it's a Genesis to Mega Drive, or Mega Drive to Genesis. I believe this would probably be from Asia. So maybe it's to play American games over there. Or just do everything, I don't know. But I have it, it's cool. I mean, it's so shiny, I almost want to just take it out. So we can see what it even is. Game adapter. I mentioned in the past, I have a lot of adapters, and I do. And this is one of them. I really like these cases, by the way. I love these. It keeps the dust out. I'm just such a big fan of these. Wish I had like a case for this, but instead I have a bag I have to put it in, so whatever. But yeah, the dust gets to it, and it just gets all shitty. You guys remember in the last episode I talked about, I was talking about the 4-in-1. It was like a boxed Game Boy game. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have a loose cartridge of it to play. Well, this is it. It's got all the same stuff. Actually, you know what? This is a different one. Holy crap. Well, that's funny. Here's that one. Well, that's cool. We have 2 of them. This isn't even one of the 11 items that I'm showing this half. I just wanted to mention that I remember like the truck and the... Yeah! All that. And it looks really blotchy compared to this. It's almost like they scanned their own box and then just put a computer-generated thing over it. Like, it looks kind of very mismatched. This one's a lot better. But yeah, look at this. They're cool. They're multi-carts. I like multi-carts. I like the Game Boy. Since they're unlicensed, I keep them in unlicensed protectors. Let's see. And then there's this. It's called Metal Gear. And it's from Ultra. It's an NES game. It's been reviewed all kinds of times. I don't need to sit here and like talk a lot about it. I remember getting this around Christmas. Like literally a week before Christmas, this was purchased. So it gives me that kind of wintry feeling when I play it. Takes me back to that time. I just remember you start off and you go down the screen, which is different. Sometimes you go left or right or up, but this you actually start going down the screen. And there's dogs trying to get you, there's people, I think, like trying to shoot you. And it's one of the games where it's like, okay, I only get so far and then I'm done, you know? I don't expect to ever beat this game. There was no point I could save from what I saw. I know there is later in the game because I've seen the reviews, but this just isn't the kind of game I would ever expect to beat. But I'd love to sit and play this right now. That'd be awesome. You got an NES, like, let's sit and play some Metal Gear. How about this? 4-in-1. This was a free item, and in the last video when I was showing the original 28-in-1, original game 28-in-1, I had mentioned that the game didn't work and there were other games that I ordered. Well, in that box was this instead, I think maybe, of the 28-in-1. And here's what makes me think that it was like a replacement. First, there's the games. And then on the back, there was this just taped on there. Get free. Oh, you get free. Like, and they just did it with this tape and just wrote it on there. That's so cool. That's so badass. Like, I love it. I love this, dude. This is so cool. This is a free gift that I got. And I don't know if that was his way of saying, hey, like, the 28-in-1 doesn't work. No, this was just in there. And it has this, like... This is one of my favorite cartridges in terms of just that story. That's such a funny story. And it's funny, when I did that last video, I should have included this. I just forgot. I didn't realize that there was this aspect. I went through some more boxes and I was like, oh, there's this too. So here it is, episode 3, the 4-in-1 that I get free. Space Ace. Damn. I went to a game store and I walked in and I think I told the guy, I went there with L-Dog. I went there with Lance Party. And, you know, I went in there, I'm like, hey, do you have Space Ace? I'm looking around. They had Space Ace. And I kind of just knew they would. Just like there was one day I went in there and I'm like, I'm looking for a complete copy of Bubsy 3D. And they had one. Not just because it's bad and nobody would want to buy it. They just happened to have it. It was really cool. And they just happened to have Space Ace. And I mean, look at that label. It looks nice. This is a nice copy. I'm happy to have it, Space Ace. It's as frustrating as they say. You know, imagine if you went like to the arcade and played this, what Space Ace originally was. You know, you bought this for the same price you would a really good game, I'd assume, right? They're all just on a shelf, and it could be this, it could have been Mario World, Chrono Trigger, I mean, any of these, Earthbound. Right, this was just there on the shelf with it, and someone bought this thinking I get whatever the animation stuff of it, and you don't. And again, it's just frustrating. Me and Lance Party, we sat down, we got to like stage 2 on this, and we just had it. We couldn't do it anymore. Stage 2 is hard. We're in a spaceship flying. I highly advise everyone try this. It's just extremely crazy. Next, there's this. 2 copies of the same game. What's the game? It's a 5-in-1. See which one looks nicer. They're about the same. It's a 5-in-1. It's for the Game Boy. And I don't know what any of that is. I mean, even this game says, oh, TV game cartridge. This is crazy. This is just super, like, unlicensed bootleg as it like gets. This is cool. And the boxes are, you know, they've got some natural wear on them that kind of looks cool. I'm really happy to have these. What it's technically called is the JR504. The 5-in-1. I got 2 copies. I believe one of them is completely complete, and the other one's missing the little cardboard insert. You know, that holds everything together. Just like, yeah, never mind. There's that. I've actually never played either of these. Maybe I should. Next, I've got this. The 2001. And it's a Famicom multi-cart. Ending Man. I've seen a little bit of Ending Man stuff. over my years. Got that sticker on the back. That's really neat looking. That is cool. And what's even cooler is the Nintendo thing that's upside down. I'm assuming there's probably like 15 or 20 games maybe, or 10. And it just repeats them over and over with different... You start at different levels, there's different little changes, but... It's probably just the same thing over and over. Yeah, 2001, it's an awesome looking cartridge. Like, I love this. This is awesome. So cool. This is one of my favorite, like, multi-carts. I mean, it's been sitting in my box as just one of my favorite looking ones, and here it is. I'm talking about it today. And there's that. Wow, I mean, the two games I'm about to talk about, I didn't even realize were coming up. These are huge. In fact, I'm not even sure I can tell the whole story. I'm just mentioning I'm adding them to the shelf. First, there's this. This is one of my all-time favorite games, and I'm supposed to sit here and just tell the whole story. The story's untellable, like how good this game is and how much it means to me. I probably got this back in like 95, 96 for Christmas. I believe it's the same Christmas I got like a 32X and Knuckles Chaotix. I think, or maybe, I don't know. I had some big Christmases growing up where I just got a few games and they all were really good. And this is one of them. This isn't the exact cartridge. I have the cartridge over there. It's really beat up. I found it behind my TV here. Heck, I might bust it out. We'll see. It's really bad, though. I'd prefer to just show a better copy. Ristar, where do I get started? The start of the game, how's that? It's really good. The music's awesome. Just the whole sequence at the beginning before the game, it's like the best that the Genesis has to offer in terms of just sound and just, yeah, if you know this game, you know what I'm talking about. It's good. And I had this as a kid, along with Gunstar Hero, Sonic 3, and Knuckles. Like, I was just blessed to have some of the best games growing up. That's why I love the Genesis. I'm a huge fan of it. Ristar, I mean, I love Planet Flora. It's cool. You start off there, kind of like the grass world. It's kind of like, you know, Emerald Hill or Green Hill, like the grass world of Mario, whatever. It's cool. Even Kirby's Dream Land, the green greens. So Flora's kind of like that. Then you get your water level. That's Planet Undertow. And that's freaking fun, too. There's all kind of sea life you deal with. And then it's on to Planet Scorch. And then, you know, the music one. And that's cool. Like, the song's cool. There's that bird. And then it's on to my favorite level. My favorite stage, which is Planet Freon. Dude, Planet Freon, it's such eye candy. It really is. It's such like just sliding on the ice and the music. It's awesome. See, again, like, I can't even say everything I want to say about this because it's just so good. Ristar, we'll put it here. Here's something I want to say about Ristar. I'd like to try the Game Gear version. Growing up, I never had it, and now I know that it exists, so I might grab a copy. And no, I want to mention too, this episode, I do not have an edition of Sonic Blast. I should, huh? That should be like a tradition. We'll see. Maybe in the next half we'll see. Here's the last game. So it starts with this. This happened to come with the game, and I'm sure most of you already know what we're talking about here. Yeah, I mean, it just says it right there, obviously. This just happened to come with it. Should probably fold that up. Put that there. It also came with this, which it's true. You know, people said, hey, the Zelda instruction booklet's really nice looking. It's like, all right, well, the copy I'm buying has an instruction booklet and this. Maybe I should look at it. And it's like, yeah, that looks damn good. Full color, I mean, full description of the different aspects of the game. From the controls to the levels, the characters, the different items you get. It's very impressive for a manual. This one's a little beat up. I'm fine with it. It was more about this. The reason that I bought this, I have no nostalgia for this. I didn't grow up with it. I didn't know anyone who even owned this growing up. I just know that this is that good of a game. It's super similar to Super Mario World, where you know a game's so good you should just have it in stock. This is one of them, and I'm thinking, well, I gotta get a nice copy. I'm super happy with this copy. I have no complaints at all about it. Looks really nice. It's been taken care of. Now I'm taking even better care of it. I don't think I've even cleaned it. It's just the exact way I received it. I figured, heck, I'll, not only test the game, but let's just see what it's all about. Let's see what Zelda really is, because that's a huge name in gaming. This is like one of the biggest series ever. So I'm like, heck, let's try this game. I put it in, turn the switch, and you immediately respect what you're seeing. It's like, wow, the colors look nice, the music sounds good. You type in your name, and there's a save feature, and you realize you're in for more than a normal NES game. You're in for more than this. As much as I respect this and its role in gaming, I just had to have a copy, and I'm happy to have it. I've gotten to probably the third or fourth stage aspect of it, and I didn't know where to go, because here the map kind of tells you what to do a little bit. And then when it took the training wheels off, I was like, oh shit, I'm playing like a game I'm not even maybe ready to handle. So I appreciate it, and that's the end for the first half. Roose the Road or Axe of Games 3. Let's head to halftime. Alright, this is it. Halftime is here. So, the halftime items, we'll start with this. In 2014, in the mid-December, I went with my girlfriend on a train to this indoor swap meet. And I went there looking for games, but there was all kind of crazy stuff. One of the booths, there was a lady in there just sleeping on a table. There was a booth with all kind of like offensive shirts. Just all kind of craziness there. It was fun. But I wanted to find games, and there was a game store. And it was just piles of games in there, in this little booth. There was a milk crate just full of Genesis games, all dirty. The guy running the shop was sitting there barefoot, just sitting on the floor playing games, and we had those wires all over the place. He was like a 9-year-old kid in there. It was crazy. I got a couple games. I got Skate or Die 2 for the NES and Space Shot for the PS1 from A1 Games. But on the way out, we went by one last store, and I saw this in the store. And I'm like, wow, this is the coolest thing. Like, this toy makes this whole trip worth it. This is awesome. I love this toy. It's unopened. Yeah, Superior Machine Gun. Best gift for children. Hey, I'm happy to have this as an adult. I can only imagine what a child would think. This is awesome. When you flip it over, it's just the same thing. And they had a whole bunch of these. I should have bought more. All I bought was this one. Got all kind of warnings on the back. Not sure what all this stuff is. Yeah, I'm adding this to the game shelf. This will be a tier 0 item. I think this is freaking awesome. And yeah, the page peeling, like, how could this not be cool? So it came in this bag. It came in this black bag like this. And that's just the way I took it home, and I consider this bag part of the package. So I'll probably put all this in another bag, and I'll stick it on tier 0. Can't wait. I've had that for years, just sitting over here, and I'm super excited to just show it off. The next thing I'm going to show, I didn't even expect to talk about this, but hey, they showed up in the mail yesterday, and I might as well get it out of the way. On an internet forum I go to, somebody listed a bunch of games and saying they're said they're pirate PS1 and Saturn games. I'm like, cool, I like bootlegs. So I'm looking, and I saw 3 that I thought would be cool. The first is this. Gex Enter the Gecko. I like Gex. I always like Gex. There's the back of it. And this is a pirate PS1 game. What I noticed about these games too is it's like they were in such a hurry to put them together that they like crushed the packaging. So that's all crushed and stuff. They're just like, screw it, one after another, just not... I don't know, like what else, what other justification is there for that? Why would you destroy the product you're trying to sell? Unless you were just in a huge rush to make them. Anyways, I also noticed these games have this kind of like shiny part of a jewel case here, this black part. Just not used to those, I'm unfamiliar. The discs don't really snap in, they just kind of sit in there. You can see the Gex disc. So I saw this, I was like, wow, that is awesome. Gotta have it. Here's the back. I mean, this is complete madness here. And I'm happy to have it. This is so cool. Next would be this, the 3-in-1 Croc family. A pirate PS1 multi-disc. I love multi-carts, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's multi-discs? Like, there's discs with multiple PlayStation games on them? And I just found that out the other day, and yes, there are. And this is one of them. This is the first one I've ever owned. The 3-in-1 Croc family, here's the side. Players is all it says. And it also says that here, which is an Indiana Pacers logo. But what's crazy is on the back, yeah. It's crazy. Here's the games. Croc, The Legend of Gobos, which I owned growing up. Like, I grew up, I really liked the game. We'll talk later about that. Croc 2, I've never owned it, but it looks, freaking awesome. Kingsley's Adventure, I've seen a little gameplay footage. Looks alright. So that's that. The Croc 3-in-1. 3-in-1 Croc family. Like, this is a whole family of Croc, apparently, and that's probably from the same developer, I'm assuming, because it looked a lot like a Croc game. And then finally, probably my favorite is this. Virtua Cop, and this is for the Sega Saturn. Not for resale. Like, okay. That's interesting, it's just crushed. But then on this side, it says Virtua Cop 2. So it's like, okay, Virtua Cop, and then it's 2, and then it's, I don't know. What does it say? Nonstop. CDs. I don't even know what any of this means. But I had to have it. So here's the cool thing. After I bought it, the person I bought it from, he sent me an email, a message, whatever. It's got that shiny type of thing I'm not used to. He sends me this message, and he's like, hey, just so you know, there's actually 2 games in there. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah, Virtua Cop 1 and 2. So it says like 1 and 2, this and that. So it turns out that there's actually 2 discs in here. Virtua Cop 2. And it's just got the sticker on it. And then there's Virtual Cop. Interesting, huh? I was like, wow, that's crazy. So instead of like a dual disc thing or some way to work it out, like we'll just cram 2 in there together. Like, that's so badass. I love it. And I'm happy I have it. And yeah, that's Virtua Cop and Virtual Cop and Virtua Cop 2. Let's see here. Croc 3-in-1 family. 3-in-1 Croc family. And Gex, dude. That gecko named Gex. Hell yeah. I'm happy to have these. I don't have jewel case protectors for them yet, but I'll get them. And that's it for halftime. So let's head back to the second half of the video series. Alright, just before we get back to the video series, I just want to mention Tier 0 for the Superior Machine Gun. That's where that's going to be. The second thing that I want to mention is that my girlfriend got me this the other day. Right, Diesel. She knows I like Diesel, and yeah, I like Diesel. I like Thomas the Tank Engine. Here's the thing I'm confused about. Since when has Diesel been that, since when does he look that happy? He looks really cheerful. Whatever happened to Devious Diesel, you know? Where's the Diesel I know, you know? Anyways, I think I have to go back and watch some newer episodes for some answers to that. But here's the thing I really wanted to mention. that I forgot to say in the other room. These 3 games here, it turns out that they require a modified PlayStation to even play them. Like, okay, you know, he mentioned it in his listing a little while ago. He's like, oh yeah, they're for third world countries where they modify consoles, this and that, because they don't import original games and stuff. So I'm thinking, oh, these are rare, these are very unique. You know what's even more rare and unique? Is an actual console that could play these. Because I've never met someone in my life who said, yeah, I have a modified PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 so I can play pirate bootlegs. Like, you can't even play these games. Like, as scarce as they are, like I said, a console to play them would be even harder to come by. That's crazy. That's so badass. I love it. You know what, though? Here's the thing. Since they're not protected yet, they're not going in the game shelf. Everything here needs protection. Anyways, on to the next part. Childhood copy of Sonic Blast coming through. Just had to do that. Before we get started, what about these? I think I bought a lot of Game Gear games. Or there was like 1 or 2 I wanted, and these 2 just happened to be in there. I don't know what they are, but I have them. And they're in plastic protectors that are probably the same price as the game. Like, these were hard to come by, these cases that actually fit these games. Put that there. So let's get started with the second half. How about we get started with this? There's someone I know, and he had a ton of these and offered me a really good deal on them. Like, hey, I have, what was it, like 4 or 5 of them? I mean, there's another one just sitting over there. It's like covered in dust. It's just a really bad Mega Drive unlicensed fighting game. Tekken Special, like, damn. What is there to say about it? You show up, there's no moves, there's very limited characters, it's just, the music is, you just kind of know it. You're just like, you know you're in the presence of bullshit when you put this in. And I've played it a few times, it was years ago. And I just actually found this copy in my little tub over there. I didn't even know that was in there. I thought all the copies were just laying out collecting dust, because this game sucks that bad. What else is there? Man, we're really getting epic here. A complete copy of Golden Axe. I mean, we're talking, this is as complete as it gets. It's got the manual, the cartridge, the artwork, the map. Like, there's literally like a map in there. I mean, it is as complete gets. It's in really good shape. Everything's in awesome shape. So why would I have a complete copy of this in this good of condition? Let's see. It's affordable. It's a fucking good-ass game. Let's see. It's one of the best games on the Genesis ever. It's really fun 2-player. It's affordable. Like, this is just... I'm extremely happy to have this. When I normally play this game, it's not on this, obviously, because I'm just going to keep it this way. It's actually, you know what? It's over there. It's a 6-in-1. What they call it, the 6-pack. I believe Sean Poyer gave that to me. Sean or Shane Poyer. I think he just gave it to me. Because he knew I had a Genesis, we'd play it. Golden Axe. And then I had some friends over here, like, about 10 years ago. And they would sit here over at the TV. They'd use the 2... like Sega joystick type controllers. They'd be playing Golden Axe. It's an extremely good game. It's short. You know, you can pick this up. I'm not going to be exact on this, but you could probably beat this game in like 40 minutes, something like that. If you're good at it and you're just moving forward and being really persistent. Golden Axe. Damn, I'm holding one of the best games on the Genesis. Wow, what do I say? Like, I'm really happy. This is so cool. That's why I'm excited to do these videos. What's this? Oh man, this is getting crazy. Okay, Grand Theft Auto 3, and this is my childhood copy. I have so much to say. Like, where do I even get started? Grand Theft Auto 3. Let's see. I started with Grand Theft Auto 1, and then number 2 came out. I really wanted to. I couldn't find it, and then finally it came out, and I was able to find it at Target up the road. And then that was like the most badass game I'd ever played. I was just satisfied with 1 and 2. Like, they're extremely good games. I love them so much. And then when I found out a 3 was coming out, like, I got a PS2. This was back in the year 2001. So this was the very beginning of 10th grade. I remember just getting a PlayStation 2, and then this, and it's this copy. Like, wow, man. My childhood copy of Grand Theft Auto 3, and it's in a protector. Again, I so highly advise you guys do that. Because if you don't, I'm not buying games from you. Don't think you're going to sell your dirty, dusty bullshit to me. I want someone... I'm going to buy from a seller who takes care of their items. Just like I do. Grand Theft Auto 3, my childhood copy, it's so good. You have Portland, Staunton Island, and then... I should remember it. Shoreside Vale. And I think Shoreside Vale is actually my favorite one. It's the one where you have the airport. I like it because it's just like rainy. This game is extremely dark. Like, it's really rainy, and just the radio stations give you this feeling like it's kind of stormy all the time. It's just a stormy kind of game, but it's extremely revolutionary because it's Grand Theft Auto, but like 3D. And this is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal game, and I'm pleased beyond belief to hold this copy. Please, like, take care of your shit. When you take care of stuff that you own, you'll really thank yourself later for it. Next, there's this. I actually just played this the other night. 2-player. And again, they kind of have this, like, cartridge, but then there's the manual, and then they have the cover art also folded in the back, and it's pushed into this plastic layer. It's cool. I played this the other night. I'm not going to pull it all out, but this is just how I'm going to store it. I'm just like, damn, you know, playing this. It's fun at first, and then it's just a repetitive, like, Mega Drive, Genesis, beat 'em up, you know? An unlicensed beat 'em up. It's just the same enemies over and over. But this is a lot of fun. I don't know what it's called. You know, I'll get into it later. Just adding this to the collection. I forget what the game's called. In fact, you know what? I've actually never known. Because I don't know Chinese. If that's Chinese. That's how little I know on that. But it's a fun game. You know, you get a couple levels in, and you're like, oh, it's just the same shit that I was playing the last level. Oh, games are flying. Well, here's one that is flying. Flying in. 191? That can't be possible. Like, oh, shit. Okay. Okay, it is possible. Like, wow. And they're all the same thing. That's badass. That's cool. It's just like, yeah, you get all this stuff. Not. Wow. I'm happy to have this. And this was actually in the tub. The one that I had all my best stuff in. So I must have known when I bought this. I'm like, hey, this is super cool. That almost looks like Space Ace. Kind of reminds me of it. It's got, I don't know, there's just something about that. 190 and 1. Here's the game list. And yeah, that's that. What do I say about it? I got this somewhere. I don't know how I have it, but I do, and it's being taken well care of. And cool. Next game. So I'm sure you all remember those Brazilian multi-carts from the first video. Well, how about this? Damn. Not only is it, remember, was it the 64 in one, and then there was some other one? No, there's this. Like, dude, well, that's cool. And they have different back labels. It's even cooler. Let's just keep turning, like, the thermostat down here. I mean, let's see how cold we can get in this episode. That's cool. 30 games. Here's what I expect. You put it in, and it's just 30 games. It's Mario. It's Frontline, which is really fun. It's Island, whatever it's called, Adventure, all this stuff. 30 games, and it's freaking, it's those Brazilian types. I don't know. There we go. Can still hear that party going on next door. It's crazy. They're being really loud for what time it is. Let's add this to the game shelf. Mega Drive 16 or Sega 16-in-1. That's cool. Here's your different games. Here's the thing that I've noticed about multi-carts, like for the Mega Drive and stuff. I'm noticing a lot of, what's that console? The Master System. There's a lot of Master System stuff. Same thing with the Game Gear multi-carts. It's just kind of that, like over and over. This is awesome. This is one of the best looking items I've ever owned, to be honest. I love Sonic. I love the number 16. The fact it's all together. I love balloons. Like, yeah, I like to party. I said this would be a party, and here it is. You wanted a party? Like, yeah. Enjoy the moment. 16-in-1. And it's the exact same thing. Like, come on, at least give us something different. Nope, nope. Oh well. I'm still happy. Just to know this was made by MD. It's cool. You put it in, and... you know what? I don't even know if I've gotten this thing to work. I may have never played this. Oh, man. How about this? This game is just really shitty, and I'm being honest. You put it in, and it's like, it's not the music, it's not the graphics, it's not the handling of the control, it's not like any little thing you could fine-tune that could fix this. It's just the overall picture is just fucking bullshit. Like, seriously. It's horrendous. It's one of the worst games ever made. And I knew that, and then I actually paid money to buy it, and I own it, and then you really, really realize it's bullshit. But it'll go on the game shelf. You know, it's cool. It's cool, I guess. Somehow. I don't know. Let's see. You start off, it's like, oh yeah, I'm on this map. And I'm like the Ghostbusters logo moving around. It's stupid. It's just like Dark Castle for the NES also, because like the music repeats over and over throughout the whole game. Like, it doesn't matter what screen you're at, it just keeps going. Dark Castle, I really like that game. We'll talk soon about it. Yeah, Ghostbusters, damn. You know, I've talked about the games tell their story, they have their role, the role that they play. I understand they all have their role, and this one does. It's just, the story this game tells just fucking sucks, man. I can't even get past the whole, car and gas part. And by that, it's like you put it in and within like 30 seconds you have no motivation to continue. It's just not fun. It's the whole format of it. It's just crazy to think that this game was next to, you know, Zelda and Kirby's Adventure and Contra and Blaster Master. Like there's these really good games. And this was in there, and I'm sure somebody at some point looked at all these lists of games and they were like, oh, this is cool because I love the Ghostbusters movie. And instead of getting the epic adventure of Kirby's Adventure or Iron Tank, which is amazing, they're all like searching around to some Ghostbusters logo, trying to get into some fuck-ass Zool building. It's so badass. I love it. Next is this. Disney's Adventures of the Magic Kingdom. This is one of the earliest games I remember owning. It really is. You start off as some kind of cowboy type of person. You're going into this amusement park, and they're just like, hey, what's your name? So you tell them your name, type it in, and then you either go on some crazy like space trip where you're just memorizing like what direction to push. You're racing, which is probably the first thing that I do to get the stars. the first thing I'll usually do, go to the racing, get the stars, get a couple stars you need, and then you can use the stars in the other games. You could also do the train deal. This is kind of like a multi-cart in a way. It's very multi-cartish because there's multiple games involved on here. Man, it's hard talking for this long. The train mission, you know, you get in there and you're just coming down. There's all these different things you have to... Fuck, man. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not used to talking this much or displaying this many games. This is such a good game, and I hope you all get it. This is one of the first games I ever owned. Here's my favorite part of this game, okay? You go to, what is it, Treasure Island or something? I remember when I was like probably 7 years old. 7, 8, like sitting here at this exact spot, looking at this exact TV over here, playing, well, not that exact TV, but that spot, playing this game. And all the games got sold when I was young, a couple years older from that. The best part, though, was that, I mean, like, people from the neighbors would come over, they'd play this. There was, the 999, there's 999, Castle Ghosts, whatever bullshit. Yeah, you go in there, it's so satisfying, just throwing candles at them, you're just throwing candles. It's the most satisfying feeling. They're like ghosts or ghouls, whatever. Get your stars, do what you gotta do to get through this game. I've personally never passed the space part yet, and that's a real problem, because you need that key to complete the game. How about this? This game makes me sick. Rockworld for the Mega Drive. I don't exactly remember why it makes me sick. It just does. Like, I haven't played it since. I've tried it. We probably tried it for what, like 15 minutes? I'm like, I just can't play this anymore. It's just making me sick. Like, it's just bullshit. It's just the music and the characters and the this and that. I hate it. I just fucking hate this bullshit. I'm happy to have it as a collectible piece. The next time I play it will be to see if the way I remember how bad it is actually true. They call it Rockworld. And it comes in this sort of plastic wrapper, just like the other game, whatever its name was. You know, you got the artwork in the back. It's all just kind of stuffed into this plastic wrapper. I got it in this case, which is really nice. And it's kind of like a one screen by one screen type of game. So you have to sort of beat the screen puzzle and then move on to the next puzzle and the next puzzle. It makes you want to puke, man. Like, just the characters and the music and the way it all vibes together. It's just bad. I don't know, or maybe it's good. Maybe this should be one of the first games we play once I get the game case filled. And there's one more game sitting over there, and that'll be you know what? There is a game, but there's also another item. The item is this. The Sega Genesis controller. This is my original Genesis controller. I got this probably in 1994. 94, 95, something like that. This is my original Genesis controller, and just the way it feels, and just... I mean, Gunstar Heroes, and Vector Man, Echo the Dolphin, you name it. All the games, Ristar, Golden Axe has been played with this. Action 52. I remember that. When I first got Action 52 for the Genesis, I worked like a 18-hour shift. It was crazy. And I got home, I had to go to work the next day. Like 7 hours later, I had to be at work. And I only had a tiny window of time. And I'm like, well, this Action 52 just came in for the Genesis. I tried it, I played it, it was Cheetah Man on this controller. Like, that's the kind of things I think about with these different items. That's why I'm so excited about them. It's just the little, I don't know, just pieces of significance, in my opinion. They're cool. My original Genesis controller. That's that. And then finally, the 20-second game or gaming item would be this. It's my original Sonic 2 copy. It's sticky, it's dirty, it's this, it's that, it's grimy, it's dusty inside. There's probably all kind of bugs in there and stuff. But this is the original copy that came with my Genesis for that birthday. Like, this is the most significant Sonic 2 copy that I have. And I have a lot to say about Sonic 2, but let me just, and this is the last thing I'm going to say before we're done. This is a really, like, slippery mountain of games we've got going here. There's that. Let me show you 3 things really quickly. 3 absolute complete, as it gets, copies here. Let's see what we have. First would be this. Absolutely complete. It would be the American Sonic 2. We had a game just fall, and it's actually the bullshit one. Yeah, Sonic 2, complete. Another Sonic 2, North American, but it's not the whole, not for resale. But it actually has a sticker over it that says not for resale, so there's always that. And then there's a PAL version, and it's cool, because it has that, which you actually see in the game. It's like a Mega Drive version. I like Sonic 2. I'm a big fan of it. So what is there to say about Sonic 2? Well, it's the first Genesis game I ever owned, except for Gunstar Heroes, which I actually picked at Toys R Us for my birthday. We didn't know that this actually came with the Genesis, and it did. And I was like, wow, that's cool. Sonic 2, it's fast. Emerald Hill Zone, it's on the Chemical Plant, Aquatic Ruin, Casino Night, Hilltop, Mystic Cave, you know, like Metropolis. You could just keep going on and on. It's a good game. And I will be honest, I like Sonic 3 and Knuckles more. Sonic 3 and Knuckles I like more, obviously. It's just probably a better game in general. But for me, like, I'm very nostalgia heavy. This is phenomenal. Sonic and 3 and Knuckles is better. Yeah, it's all about this right now. My favorite level's Mystic Cave. It's just badass as it gets. The music, it's really spooky and evil and crazy. Oil Ocean's kind of cool, even though it's a frustrating level. It's really frustrating. You know, there's like some levels where you can kind of run, you're comfortable. It's just a fun level. To me, Oil Ocean's not fun. I'm kind of like struggling through it. But I just like the idea that there's just oceans of oil. Like, it's like, that's kind of weird. Weird concept for a level. Very cool. I like Aquatic Ruin. And when I go to Aquatic Ruin, you always like get to start off with a part where you can skip over and go very high up, which is cool because there's leaves flying everywhere. You get to get up in the trees and stuff. Again, there's just leaves all flying. I love it. But I prefer to just drop into the water and do the whole level underwater. It's just the way I like to do it. You know, trying to catch air bubbles and just submerge yourself down there. It's fun. There's a lot of fun shit to find. Damn, that party next door is still going on. It's getting late. It's crazy. It's still going. Yeah, Sonic 2. That's the last game. Let's head over to the game shelf and give you the final thoughts. So here are my final thoughts. First, we'll start with the game adapter. I don't know a lot about it, but I'm happy to have it. Stick with the adapters. I don't really have much opinion. It just goes from one region to another for the Genesis or Mega Drive. The one that makes me sick. It's Rockworld for the Mega Drive. Complete, as far as I know. The pirate bootleg. How about this? Stick it with the ones like it. We got Space Ace. It's frustrating, you know, you're going to keep going over and over and having that guy laugh at you the whole time. This is a hard and shitty game. And we got the Super Nintendo stuff. I don't know, I don't really have, you know what, I don't actually own much Super Nintendo stuff. but all the random things are going here, so let's just keep it that way. We also have the 2 Game Boy cartridges. Sticking with the Game Boy stuff. This will have to get fixed eventually, because trust me, there's a lot more coming. Got the Game Gear stuff. There's another one. It's down there in the pile. Whatever. I'm coming back for you. Next we have Metal Gear for the NES. I can get a couple minutes into the game, and then it's just like, okay, this is getting hard. You can't save, it's tough. You have Ghostbusters, like, this is probably one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. It's just so bad. It's bad beyond belief. It's triple B, man. It's just beyond belief. Like, you can't imagine someone would actually put this on a store shelf next to this. Or next to Zelda or any of that stuff. Like, how could this have possibly made it onto store shelves? I don't know. But I'm happy to have it. 190 in one. Got the Famicom stuff. Got our 30 games. Stick it there with the stuff like that. We have another 30 games in one. Happy to have it. And it's just like the other one. 2001. Yet another Famicom game. I said I have a lot. You're starting to see that now. And then here's the one that I get free. It's the 4-in-1 with Rockman 1. You got Jackal, Mario, and Adventure of 2100. Do you guys know what that is? Adventure of 2100? I don't. Maybe I should find out. Tekken Special for the Mega Drive, and it's definitely Mega Drive with that round top, how the label goes back, which sucks because then sometimes it starts to feel right there. Yeah, Tekken Special with the Mega Drive stuff. Alright, so we're all facing that direction. Just making sure. Adventures of the Magic Kingdom. My favorite stage is that whole 999 Ghosts thing, or the Treasure Island one. So cool, just going in that boat and then you're dodging the drops that try to hit you. This is one of the first games I've ever played in my entire life, and I'm a very big fan of it. It can be a little tough at times, but I highly suggest it. Just like I would highly suggest Golden Axe if you've never played it. I've played this a ton of times, I've beat it. Always 2-player. This, you have to play 2-player. Just like any 2-player game. Just like Top Gear 2, which we'll talk about later. Complete Golden Axe, we're talking the maps in there, the instruction booklet, the cartridge is perfect. We're already starting to run out of room here. I think another cartridge will literally be like the straw that breaks the camel's back. This is getting out of control. Childhood copy of Sonic Blast. Grand Theft Auto 3. Go down here with it. Coming for that, we'll see. This is where it gets crazy because now I have a Sonic 2 as well. You know, Tiers 1 is completely available, but we're gonna save that. It's like there's that Sonic 2, and then there's this Sonic 2. This Sonic 2, right? This is more Sonic 2. I love Sonic 2, man. I love Misty Cave, right? Love Metropolis Zone, Aquatic Ruin, Chemical Plant. So badass. I love it. It's like I love this. Mega Drive 16 in one. It's all just Master System games. Hell yeah. Got that. Here's the other Game Gear one I was saying I had. I'm gonna prop these up somehow. Those troublesome trucks. I'm about to get all diesel on your ass here in a minute. This is getting crazy. Really, it's the cases they're in. Sometimes the bottoms are uneven and they want to fall. How about one of my favorite games of all time? It's Ristar. I remember getting this for Christmas. It blew my mind and it's so good. I love Planet Freedom. It's my favorite stage, for anyone who asks. Just that Genesis stuff. The Game Gear 5 in 1. Sorry, Game Boy. A lot of difference between boy and gear, right? There's, of course, this. I don't know the name of this game. I literally just played it 2-player, like the other day. I think we got to about the 5th stage. And it's a beat 'em up. I just love the whole format of this. It's so crazy. And it's good. It's just repetitive and it goes over and over. It's just the same stuff. Just like some Battle at Red Cliffs type of shit, you know? I like it. It is just only so much of my time I'm willing to waste. We're really starting to fill up now. My childhood Sonic 2. Super happy to have it. It's another game, Genesis game. This whole bookcase, game case, is going to be so full it won't even work at some point. And there's one to go. And then that'll be the end of episode 3 of Racks of Games, episode 3 with Roose the Rotor. What's left? This. Yeah, it's this. It's not super rare, or super this or that. There's only one super thing that it is, and that's good, dude. I have it. I'm happy. Happy to have it. It's in there. Here's one thing that I want to mention too. I have it in this case. Well, it turns out that the manual and the map are the same size as the cartridge. So I'll probably find a way to stick it all in there. Keep it as one item. We'll just keep it there. So that's it. Those are my final thoughts. We still only have 2 Tier 1 games. And I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Tier 1 stuff, like Sonic 2. I mean, did Sonic Blast. How's that? How am I sitting here saying that it's so great, and it's on like one of the more bottom shelves? Trust me, we'll figure this all out. But yeah, it's time to wrap up the video. So thanks for watching. It's Roose the Rotor, Racks of Games episode 3. Let's end this.